So I'm gonna admit I know nothing about Tai Chi at all. So the floor is yours, Julius. Take it away.
You're an open book. That's the best
Yep,
way.
yep.
That's the best way. Most of us know nothing about anything, but we pretend we know it anyway.
Yeah, right.
It's much better coming from where you're coming from. Okay, well, speaking of building power, you can see there's a few powerful people in that video. So
Mm.
they're all, that's my teacher and the seniors of the school that I'm basically the Perth branch for Heaven, Man, Earth Tai Chi, International Tai Chi School, which is the master, well, he doesn't like to be called master, Tai Chi expert, Adam Meisner. Yeah, so, well, Tai Chi is obviously it's known as like an exercise, a bunch of movements. You see people in the park doing this stuff. Maybe not here in China, you see loads of people doing it. But really, Tai Chi is a state, and it's a state of harmony between yin yang. I'm sure you've seen the yin yang symbol.
Mm.
That's the visual representation of harmony between these opposing differentials. And what we're doing in the training is creating yin yang more and more as we train over time with this sort of diligent training, creating these yin yang differentials throughout the body in all these different areas of the body, whilst creating openness. So generally the body has a tendency to close over time. So the tissue shortens, you get tighter, neck gets tighter. And that's why, people that don't do anything like this, by the time they're, 60, 70, 80, they end up like, really, really closed down, which also is an expression of what we've been talking about, being closed-minded. It also does that too. They're sort of, they're hand in hand. So we spend a lot of time pulling the joints apart, pulling the body open, which is to lengthen the tissue. And then lengthening the tissue, opening the joints, creates the fascia to be more conductive to qi. So you end up getting better circulation of basically bioelectricity around the body. The thing that we all have that makes us different to a corpse lying on the floor, that's kind of the only difference, is this bioelectric energy that we all have. Mm-hmm. So we're making that more transmits around the body much better. And then there's also the component I mentioned before, that by creating more space inside the body and aligning the bones, opening a lot of the joints are kind of fused shut like this because all the tissue around it, all the muscles are so tight that the joints are just kind of really closed. So by loosening everything around it, we can start to get a bit more mobility and movability in the joints, which creates space. When we correct the posture, we open up the skeleton, that creates space. The more you create space, the more it will fill with qi, and then little by little, kind of $1 a day over time, this creates a fullness that it's all kind of pretty unusual stuff. Not many people have this skill. Even in the Tai Chi world, like there's a lot of Tai Chi schools and stuff where they go through the movements, but if they don't have the Neigong, it's called, which is the internal work, these kind of internal transformations don't take place. And then it's just like going for a walk. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good for you, but it's not, you may as well be doing something with more cardio or something. But when you add this Neigong inside, then over time, your chi gets bigger. You become what we say more full. And in the martial arts community, people think this is not real because the results that it creates look fake. Like when you see Adam in that video throwing somebody, it's like, well, he just moved very little. But when you have a direct experience of it and you touch someone who has these skills, it's very real. It's very real. You can't stop it. It's immovable, very movable, unstoppable. Because basically to generate movement, we use contraction in the muscles. So when we do something, we go, the muscles fight and we contract. So what this is doing is we're training the body over time to change to generate movement via releasing the muscles, releasing the tissue, so contraction creates. And again, this overlaps. Like I said when we chatted at the start, none of this is separate, right? The contraction makes it shorter, closed, tight. That's obviously not good for circulation. It's not good for your brain.
Yep.
And the contraction that make it open, release, makes it bigger, more open, more conductive, more free. And then the biggest element that we sort of train you towards is creating liberation. Liberation of the crazy mind, liberation from the confines of the body. So that's the spiritual element that really is what it's about. Mostly, it's just we use the body as the vehicle towards that. So there you go. Now you know what Tai Chi is, sort of.
Yeah.